Hello and welcome to the Procurement Magazine podcast. I'm the senior editor of Procurement Magazine and Supply Chain Digital and traditional host of this podcast, Aaron McMillan. But this week we've got a real treat for you. Live from Coupa Inspire, we were lucky enough to have AWS and Coupa take over for this episode.
Chinmay, do you want to give the listeners a bit of a quick background on yourself and how you find yourself in the role today?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, thanks Rick for hosting me here. It's really a privilege and really excited about our partnership. So a little bit about me. So I manage supply chain partnerships at AWS. I lead those partnerships with the technology partners like Coupa. Coupa is one of my top partners. I have a few others in the space. I come from supply chain consulting background. So this is very close to my heart, this particular domain. And I think we have a lot to achieve together.
Good. Absolutely. And you enjoying the journey with AWS?
Yes, very much.
Yeah.
Very much. When I came to AWS, I think this was one of the first partner that I want to take over, considering like how much you have built on AWS. But I think the timing was right last year.
Yep.
And eventually now we have signed a big strategic collaboration agreement.
Yep.
So yeah, it's pretty fun.
It's good. Yeah, and look, for those that don't know me, Greg Harbour, I'm the Chief Partner Officer here at Coupa. I've been with Coupa for a couple of years, following on from 20-odd years in a differentiated blue at SAP. And but absolutely thrilled to be with Coupa and what I think is market leading in terms of where we're going in the spend management space. But frankly, it's all about AI these days and how we get to leverage what I think is an incredible moat and an incredibly rich data set that is the $10 trillion of spend that is sitting in our systems today, that is a community asset and something that we get to take advantage of. As we try and take advantage of such a large data set and such a large volume of customers across the planet, of course, AWS is a very important partnership for us. As I stepped into this role, it was not a relationship that we had really formalized. There was a lot of build and development out on AWS, but we'd never really thought about this in a structured way as a strategic go-to-market. How have you seen the last couple of years as we've evolved this now to a really strategic collaboration agreement?
No, absolutely. I think as you rightly said, right, 20 years you've been building on AWS, you're trusting us, and you're one of the market leading partner in this space, right? And it was, I think this particular aspect of the partnership was lacking, where we go to market together and address our customers together. Like as AWS, we always like want to meet customer where they are. So many of our customers are buyers and they're looking to buy market leading solutions, and that's where Coupa and AWS partnerships comes together. In addition, as you rightly said, the 9.5 trillion data set that Coupa has built, I think is immense value as we now venture out in the basically AI space, which is going to help us draw more insights, build agents, and serve our customers better. So I think overall I'm really excited, and I've seen that our teams are coming together, and you guys are on our marketplace to sell as one of the preferred channels.
Yeah, that's new as of February this year, right? So we're now formally listed on your marketplace as a private offering, which means that any of our customers out there that are joint customers of ours can retire their PPA commitments, with the Coupa investments that they're making, which is fantastic for us.
Absolutely, and they can simplify their procurement of software. Many of them have adopted marketplace as their mechanism, and we can all leverage that. I think more importantly, our sellers come together in this process. They can work shoulder to shoulder and make a difference and target larger customer base. So that's what I think I'm looking at as a future.
Chinmay, this is the first time we've had you come and join us at Inspire. Outside of the incredible developments that we're releasing in our new solution set and the apps platform, one of the key launches this week was Coupa Compose, an agent studio, a builder environment, a developer environment that's going to allow our partners and our customers alike to really launch into agentifying Coupa and really taking this solution set to the next level. You had a couple of people go to our inaugural DevCon event this year. What did you think? Any feedback from your team?
Yeah, so our team, I think really good question. So our team was really excited with the way DevCon was set up. And what I learned was there was an overwhelming response from overall Coupa's partner community and customer community. More people participated than it was anticipated. About 163 agents were submitted.
I heard that. 163
that's
agents
a lot.
developed in one day.
In one day. That's a lot, right? And AWS obviously played its part in the background in terms of making the capacity available on the bedrock to build those agents. And then, as you said, right, a couple of my colleagues who are deep in that architect, they went and they also submitted the agents, and the overall experience they liked, because again, it was very domain specific. They were able to build agent in the area of procurement and supply chain, focusing on those particular use cases. So yeah, I think it's great from overall builder mindset perspective. I mean, at Amazon, that's what we do. We have a builder mindset. We like people who build, and we believe that the best ideas can come from people who are like making their hands dirty, who don't afraid to fail fast and learn faster. And that's what we were able to see yesterday. And that's what is happening probably across the board, across the customer. So I think it puts Coupa and AWS together with this Coupa Compose and with this capability, right, in actually where customer wants to go. It's not something that we are saying that, okay, this is a prescriptive agent or prescriptive capability. They just need to use that. But it's an immense flexibility running on AWS and with the dataset and with the Coupa capabilities to build those agents, and also making those agents available to interact with the other agents across the customers.
This podcast is in partnership with Amazon Business. Amazon Business is your one-stop destination for everything your organization needs. Think of it as the Amazon you already know and love, but specifically re-engineered for the way you work. Amazon Business gives you access to business-only pricing on millions of items and quantity discounts that scale with your growth. It's about spending less time bogged down in those manual tasks and more time on what really matters. So head over to Amazon Business and make the power of Amazon work for you.
Yeah, look, and foundational relationship for us as we move that forward, and we think because of Compose, it's only going to get bigger for our joint customers, which is fantastic. How have you found the event overall?
It's really good. A lot of energy. I think there is a lot of customer traction. The keynotes have been fantastic. Yesterday's keynote from Lee and Salva was really good. In terms of I think Lee's example, it just now like is staying with me about the contract intelligence agent, the statistics that she gave.
Yeah,
I think the more than agent, right? The before that she gave us statistics that I think if you spend $1 in Coupa, you're like saving $50 in that range. I think she gave the statistics, if I'm not wrong.
Yep.
And then in terms of the agentic, there were like 21,000 contracts that were reviewed by that agent in 6 months. So the scale of those agents when we have 60 plus agents next year is going to be immense. And then obviously,
that's what it's all about, right? It all comes down to business outcomes. And I think you're experiencing this at Inspire. This is an event in which we have so many customers together. And what I love about the customer community that we've got, it truly is a community where everyone wants everyone else to be successful. It's not so much the competition.
Correct.
And seeing them really have pride in the fact that they've saved so much money, driven so much value for their customers, that become a key part of margin accretive growth, which is what every shareholder and stakeholder is looking for these days. And I think you guys are helping out tremendously on that front too.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, go for it.
I think you asked me a question about the AWS partnership. I'm going to flip the question. What are you excited most about? And what was your experience in terms of the Inspire? Now, as we get more into the AI, and what are you hearing from customers?
Yeah, well, look, a couple-fold. Inspire just reinvigorates me every year that I come. I can't help but just be amazed by the use cases, the real life stories of companies in an industry setting that are delivering exceptional business outcomes in really confined timeframes that are helping their organizations unleash value. And, nothing speaks to it when you see people that are genuinely excited and passionate to tell the story, to share with others just what an impact they've had. I think it's kind of making procurement sexy and cool again. And I love that energy that comes with it. On the AI side, every partner I look after, all of our global partners, not one of them is not chomping at the bit. They want to get in front of this. They want to be able to bring their thought leadership, their secret sauce and IP that they've got in each industry, and find a way to build that into an offering to take to their market segments that they'd like to address. And we're hugely excited by that opportunity as we go together. Clearly our North Star is to make sure that the adoption is strong and that the business value is there. AI can have people go off at a tangent and get a little crazy. At the end of the day, it's got to come back to business value and outcomes. So, we're steering that as cautiously as we can, but as quickly as we can, so we don't get in the way of the progress that we're making. But overall, a fantastic partnership. As I look at the AWS partnership this year, I think I my hair got a little grayer doing the commercial contracts with you guys. You know how to do those well. But I'm thrilled with it. The relationship that we're building today with AWS, with yourself, with Ruba, with Alison and Frank and the rest of the team is tremendous. We see genuine intent to try and help us be more successful, more agile. We do think this gives us global reach commercially to reach a lot of customers around the world that we have always been a little tight in terms of getting to. It's also giving us a lot of confidence, and unfortunately we all, saw what happened in the Middle East this year, and, to have that impact on your data center in Dubai, what was just phenomenal for us was to see that because of the embedded disciplines in AWS and your failovers and your redundancies, we never had a single customer impacted. We never lost, one byte of data from our systems. And to have that in a kind of a war-torn territory, I think speaks to the trust that we have with you, and that in turn relays a trust and authenticity to our customers, which we value so much.
No, awesome. I really appreciate you kind of saying that loudly. But I think, yes, the resiliency and availability, I think does make a difference, especially in this type of crisis scenario. If I may ask you, what are those 2 or 3 things our field team should look for to identify those customer problems which Coupa can go and solve, and we can go and basically pitch Coupa together?
Yeah, look, for me, the world is all about a two-sided network. There's buyers and suppliers. And I think as we say to a lot of customers, one side of the equation's buying, and we've, as an industry, been very, very focused on the buying expertise, sourcing materials, sourcing indirect, sourcing direct materials, MRO style categories. And we've lent into the way in which we verticalize that. Oftentimes we overlook the supplier. And for us, this is where the network effect really comes into being. Having a two-sided network that is fed by autonomous and intelligent decision-making tools that will allow us to bring AI technology alongside of human beings and empower human beings to have more of that human connection and engagement that is trade. We're in the business of trade. And, as much as we'll supplement and augment our processes with agents and AI capabilities, we're still very much reliant on human beings in the process, and we love that actually. So, for me, that is the fundamental thing that we're getting right. As I think about the folk at AWS, I'm hoping that they see the energy, the real fast delivered business outcomes that come through a solution set like Coupa, because it's a great way for them to retire quota. And I'm looking forward to a lot of introductions to customers across the world that perhaps we aren't aware of, that could benefit from driving efficiencies, effectiveness gains, and outcomes in terms of their trading relationships with suppliers in both the direct and indirect space, as well as their supply chain. So, that's where my head's at.
So anyway, if you have time, so I think the one thing that I heard yesterday in the keynote, and then also later we had a meeting with Lee and Salwa, there was a discussion about these domain specific language models and building those. I think that could be really powerful tool as we look to leverage again Coupa's data set. So if you could throw a little bit of intent on that, I think that will be great.
Yeah, look, as we said, whether the number's $9.5 or $10 trillion of commerce that's traded across Coupa for the last 20 years, it gives us an incredibly rich data set on which to build insights. These are not scraped data points from the internet. These are real transactions between buyers and sellers for all sorts of products and solutions and services that you can imagine that corporations engage in. That is very domain specific. How do you surface that as it relates to sourcing? How do you surface that as it relates to managing contracts and contract compliance? How do you do that in terms of building category strategies for organizations? And from a supplier point of view, it's the same. It's a transparency around supply. It is about fulfillment for them in terms of the way that they drive. How do they meet the quality standards in real time for organizations that they want to service to the best of their ability? So, I think it is absolutely deeply seated domain knowledge and a rich context that allows us to be successful. That said, let's be honest, Coupa doesn't run the entire enterprise. We know very well that all of our customers are sitting with ERP solution sets. They've got customer solution sets, human resources, platforms, and others. And all of those other SaaS vendors and technology vendors are surfacing agents as AI becomes more prevalent. What we're doing at Coupa that I do think is unique relative to some of the others, and we've seen news around this recently, is that Coupa's doing this in a very open way using your technology. We are looking to release MCP where we think we need that agent-to-agent collaboration.
You do.
Inside and outside of Coupa to enrich a process that a customer gets to orchestrate in their business setting. And for us, that's key. I don't know how you see that and how you see those control towers coming together, but I think those APIs, agents are the APIs of the past, right? This is how we have to read into that to be able to run processes that make sense for business.
No, I think you're right on the money. The interoperability of the agents is the key. As you rightly said, there are different technology vendors, there are different platforms that customers is going to use. They are going to build agents, and not one vendor is probably going to own that space. So I think that interoperability and the integration is really important. And if you see AWS capabilities and the services which are out there, they are developed from that perspective where customers can build those agents, customers can build that AI layer, and that could integrate with the agents and the AI layer built around different technologies.
Cool. Look, it's interesting also with our strategic collaboration agreement that we've just signed. Obviously, big expectations on your organization and ours in terms of how that shifts the needle in terms of growth. That's what we're all about, is driving accretive growth for the business. How do you view key vendors like ourselves that we drive and move ourselves from a vendor relationship to really a strategic partnership? How do you see that changing and evolving?
Yeah, I think it's definitely with the effort that we have taken together in terms of creating our basically the vision and then structuring the strategic collaboration agreement. I think is really good first step, and it gives us opportunity to co-innovate together.
Yeah,
correct? I think it's not just basically like basically going through market or going through marketplace, but it's how we co-innovate together. How do we really kind of go to our customers together, and how we can provide them solutions faster. So I'm really excited with the potential, and especially in the AI space, that we can be together, we can come together, we can identify the vision, and we can work backwards from that. So that's I think excites me most as a part of our partnership, and hopefully in the next Inspire we'll have more success story about how we have kind of delivered that.
Yeah, and I think to that point, one of the things that's exciting me a lot is, given I run all of our global partnerships, I'm very aware of the fact that a lot of our big global GSIs like Accenture and KPMG and PwC, etc., all have very strong existing relationships with AWS. We can bring a tripartite of skills together to really create prototyping and agility, and we've created a fund between us as part of the strategic collaboration agreement to actually go and help customers do that in a frictionless way, to take some of that commercial hurdle away from them and allow them to go prototyping, building, developing, really, really in an agile and fast manner. We're excited about the partnership from that perspective. So as you say, it's not just the reach and amplitude we get, but it's also the richness of that innovation. The other side I'm enjoying and I'm seeing start to evolve is the governance and the cadence that we've got from a senior level across both organizations. It's not just an oversight on the numbers, it's, to your point, it's
Absolutely.
innovation.
Absolutely. I think there was a recent meeting between our executives, and I think on our side, the AWS is really kind of committed and very involved at a different level with the partners who are building on AWS and who are again innovating with AWS. So it's a strong focus. So as you say, it's not just a number, but it's a direct involvement, hands on the ground, and how we can build those solutions together.
And we're seeing that traction, interestingly, even in these early stages of the partnership, right across the globe, from banks down in Australia to manufacturing firms in Japan and back up into the pharmaceutical and higher ed here in North America as well. So it really is showing clear global reach pretty quickly.
Correct. Absolutely.
Thank you very much for taking the time out of your day to come down here and invest in meeting our customers and many of our other partners. Wonderful to see so many of the AWS team at our inaugural DevCon. We're excited about the partnership. I think it goes without saying. We've got big expectations, but we also enjoy doing business with good people. And it is very much a human touch as much as it is a technology touch. Thank you very much for your time today.
Our feelings are mutual. Thank you so much for basically having me here and the AWS team. And it's a privilege to kind of share stage with you right now and knowing your thoughts. So we have a long journey ahead, but I think we are excited on both sides.
Right.